Hi everyone, welcome to the official Form 7 YouTube channel and the first instalment of the Meet the Team series. My name's Oscar, I am the founder and director of Form 7 Performance Limited. In a nutshell, what my position entails is, I guess it boils down to the fact that I'm mainly responsible for all of the day-to-day strategic decisions, running decisions, processing orders, the back end of the website. In essence, what an entrepreneur is, setting up a business and taking it from a concept all the way to a fully functional operation. I guess it also involves just working with a fantastic group of people, which we will get to later in the video. What do I do apart from Form 7? That's a fantastic question. My day-to-day job is I am a tax accountant. I work for BDO LLP. Currently working from home, but I did work in central London up until the pandemic or coronavirus hit, which basically forced us all to go work from home rather than working in the office. You may think on the tin it sounds like a rather boring job. I actually really enjoy it. Primary reason for that is the sort of wealth of clients we work with and the wealth of clients I work with and advise. So we work with clients all the way from famous celebrities down to Premier League footballers, and your very successful business people in between. And just having an understanding of their financial background, what different investments, assets they hold is very interesting. I think it also interests me because I am a through and through business person and I really enjoy learning and communicating with these people who have years and years and such a wealth of experience in the field. But apart from the oh so glamorous day job, which you probably think is very boring, and the vast majority of people would look at accountancy or tax or anything like that and think, damn, that's boring. So apart from that, I obviously work on cars. I'm a through and through car guy. I have worked on cars for years and years and years. I enjoy working on cars, modifying cars, and just generally being an all-round car guy. And when I'm not doing tax and working on cars, I love a bit of cooking. You'll catch me on MasterChef one day in the future, mark my word. So Form 7 Performance was, well, the actual concept came to me, I think it was near the beginning of September 2020, and it was officially incorporated on the 18th of September 2020, shortly afterwards. Fun little sub-story actually, the business actually started life as F7 Performance. That lasted for all of about a week before we got into a slight legal altercation with Formula 1 Management Limited. After a bit, well, actually, let's take a step back. I actually got a letter in the post after incorporating the company about a week later, so that'll take us through to sort of the 25th of September, something like that. That was from Sheridan's, which, if you don't know, the only reason I knew of the name was from working in the sort of tax field, which is a legal sector. So I got a letter in the post and I thought it's either going to be a massive positive or a pretty sharp negative. And it turned out to be the latter, in fact. So what that was in essence saying was that Formula 1 Management Limited wanted to sue us unless we complied with their trademarks. Now, upon initial inspection, I didn't think we infringed their trademarks, but just due to the fact that we were so early in our startup, I thought just best thing to do in a situation, rather than seeking legal advice, rather than increasing startup costs massively, because going against Sheridan's and Formula 1 would cost a fortune, to say the least, I just thought, we'll take it as it is, change the name. Now, it was actually called F7 because the reason for starting the business, I always wanted to go into something car related, but my father passed away when I was 10 years old and his actual password hint at the time was Formula 7. And the reason for that was because the first two characters of his password, this is when I was growing up, like between, I don't know, when I was 5 and 10 years old before he died, was F7 and Formula 7. So I wanted to call it F7 Performance or Formula 7 Performance. Now you can kind of see where the trademark infringement comes in there. Formula 7, Formula 1, there isn't actually a Formula 7 under Formula 1, but you can see where the infringement comes. And also on top of that, our logo was, well, it wasn't similar, but there was an F and a 7, like the F1 for Formula 1. So you can kind of see the route they were coming down. So I guess that gives you a bit of an overview on what happened in terms of the change of name. So if you do look at us on Company's House, you'll see we previously had the name, which was Formula 7 Performance, and it changed to Form 7. But I think the main thing I wanted to achieve in those early days of the business and in that rebrand was to kind of stay true to why I named the business what I did. And I think Form 7 it does that very nicely. So I was really pleased with the rebrand, and actually looking at it down the line now, I think our logo is 10 times better, which you can see behind me. If you haven't realised, that's clearly our logo. And yeah, I just think the name just rings slightly better than Formula 7. Form 7 just rolls off the tongue with a bit more ease. So then fast forward about a month down the line, I had been in contact with a friend called Sam Farrow, which you will see in a later video in terms of his position in the business. But I brought him on as a HR and general manager, and he's sort of involved within the management team here at Form 7. So after bringing on Sam, we're sort of end of September time now, and we did a few bits and pieces, literally working on the website, all in preparation for our launch. The business actually launched on the 1st of January 2021, and it's just been a whirlwind since then, which brings us up to date of when we're filming this video. Now, it wouldn't take long before we got into cars, and what cars do I drive? Now, I daily a Toyota Corolla. It's 2005, I absolutely love it, 1.6 VVTi. The car is an auto, which as a car guy, at first I would have thought, I much prefer manuals, and don't get me wrong, I do prefer a manual to drive as a fun car, but as a daily driver, an automatic really hits that sweet spot, and yeah, I actually quite love it. The car, I have a bit of history on it. It's been in our family since 2005. My dad actually bought it for my mum back in 2005, and it's literally been in the family since, and now it's my daily driver. So it's done 49,000 miles, and for a car which is 16 years old, to do 49,000 miles, that is pretty good. I mean, I know people who have a car which is 3-4 years old which has done more mileage than that. So yeah, that's the daily driver. My other car is my project car, so I also own a Mark 1 Mazda MX-5. It was ex-turbocharged, just on a standard engine, the 1.8 litre UK spec. That was running about 250 horsepower, but since then I got bored of the power about 6 months down the line of turbocharging it, so stripped the whole thing apart. We've currently smoothed the bay, forging the engine, going for a few other bits and pieces, but I think that will be covered later in the video. But yeah, that is my fun car, and that is my pride and joy. Something I've sunk a hell of a lot of money into, but as you would know, as a car person, it's all for the fun of it. And that car is definitely my forever car. Well, fantastic question. What shows we'll be attending this year? So at time of filming, we've done our first ever trade show as a business, and that's something, as you can tell, I'm really, really happy with. It went absolutely amazingly. If you're in the car scene in the UK, you may have heard of Broke Boys, and we attended Broke Boys at the Farm 4 at Warwickshire Event Centre earlier in the year. And yeah, it was absolutely fantastic to meet some of you guys face to face, interact with customers, and just generally grow the exposure of the brand and business as a whole. It definitely came with lots of learning curves, lots of surprises, but I think that's going to set us up in good stead for the rest of the shows this season. So jumping back to the question of what shows are we attending going forward. Now, if this goes live before this Sunday, for those of you who might be a bit confused, we're filming this on a Wednesday, so give me a couple of days to upload. Yeah, it should be up by then. We're going to be attending Stance Fever. Following on from that, we're doing JAE, which is the Japanese Auto Extravaganza. That's in Norfolk, and that's a 4-day event. That's going to be epic. We're also doing Japfest, Gravity, God, I need to remember, Go Japan. Like, there is quite a few, and I will be forgetting some on there. Ford Fair, potentially as well, so there's quite a few which we're going to. But yeah, any on that list which you are attending, be sure to come over and see our stand there. Form 7 Performance, remember the name, come say hi, you'll get some freebies, all of that good stuff. And yeah, we're just generally looking forward to meeting more of you at shows this season and in the many years to come. Future car plans. Now this is one which I referred to earlier, and I started to give a couple of plans for the MX-5, but we can go through them in a bit more depth now. So, plans for the MX-5 is currently being forged, and in terms of the spec of the forged engine, there has just been no expense spared. We've gone all out, and that block and head should be good for, you know, 500 horsepower quite easily. We won't run that off the block. Reason being is just the gearbox will not handle it. I'll be running a 6-speed gearbox, and there are gearbox upgrade options on the market, although they are rather costly. And right now, I'll just be honest, well, I can't afford it right now. So we'll run about 350 to 400 brake on that. That's running a Borg Warner turbo. In terms of the other plans for the car, we're doing a Rocket Bunny conversion, so Rocket Bunny wide arches, front lip and ducktail spoiler. The car's currently a soft top, but it will be a hard top with a hard top boot spoiler. Or a hard top spoiler, it's not a boot spoiler, it's just a hard top spoiler. And the whole car's going to be repainted. So if you do recognise me, I did actually have a YouTube channel, which I still actually have, funny enough, called Oscar Form 7 now, but it was formerly Exhausted or Exhausted UK. So yeah, if you do follow me on there, the car is actually changing colours, which is going to be pretty cool. I'll leave a link to my personal YouTube down in the description below. This channel is going to be a lot more for sort of the business side of things. When we do expand to a unit, get all of that sort of good stuff, that will all be on this channel, and all of our business builds, everything like that will be on this channel. So make sure you subscribe if you're a viewer of my channel, because there's going to be loads of content on here as well. Plans for the Corolla is to keep it quite simple. It is a daily driver. Only things I really want to do to that is put it on a new set of wheels, lower it ever so slightly, nothing major. I want to still sort of retain the ride comfort of the car. That's pretty much it, to be honest. I mean, I don't want to go for a loud exhaust. The standard exhaust is absolutely gorgeous when cruising on the motorway. I don't need it to be a loud Asbo. Been there, done that. I've had my sort of racer boy days. I'm not about that life anymore. More about just doing, you know, tasteful modifications, which is what that car is going to be about. The only thing which may not be tasteful about that is going to be the insane livery which I want to put on it. I'm not going to give away any colours, but I've got a good plan to do a full Form 7 livery on that. You probably see a Corolla, which is pretty much standard with livery, driving past and think, oh my god, who the hell owns that? But that's purely going to be done for marketing purposes, because I drive it around every day and it's just a marketing tool in itself. My favourite thing about Form 7 is actually a really tough question, because having set up the business myself and it being my pride and joy, almost like my baby, or like the fruits of my loom, or whatever the hell you call it, that's getting a bit weird, let's stop. But there's lots of things I enjoy about the business. To pin my nail on my favourite thing, it would have to be the people that I work with. We've created a team of a bunch of media guys, a bunch of representatives, our management team, and yeah, it's probably working with people and friends, which I'm close to, is the main thing. And sort of the community which we've created around the business. I think that's why I've always wanted to have my own business, and my own business which has people in it as well, was, you know, it's all well and good starting a job and working with people, and the people I work with on a day-to-day basis for my day job are absolutely fantastic, don't get me wrong, but nothing beats working with your just close friends, and having a community of like-minded individuals which all share the same passion, all share the same hobby, and what we're doing for a passion and a hobby is what we're doing for a business as well. So it sort of engulfs all of our hobbies, all of our interests, just into one group of people, and that's something which I really, really enjoy. I guess what comes with that is just the solid banter that comes with working with a bunch of like-minded people. Like, we fire it around, and if you've seen some of our group chats, or if you could see some of our group chats, the banter and the memes are flowing strong, lads. I can tell you that much. So yeah, it's just the genuine laugh. On a day-to-day basis, it doesn't get boring, and just there's always someone to lighten your day when things are going shit. Next one up is my dream car. Wow. Dream car? There's loads of different options which I could say. I've always, since a boy, which I'm still quite young, but yeah, I'm not a boy anymore, I loved the Lamborghini Murcielago, and I had a real soft spot for them, so that would definitely be up there. I'm a massive Lambo fan at heart, so any Lambo, oh my god, that would be my absolute dream, to just drive one, experience one on a day-to-day basis, like an Aventador, you know, literally any Lambo, it would just be my dream to own. That's just one of my things which I've really always wanted to achieve. So definitely Lambo is a dream car. A more realistic one in the near future, maybe a Audi R8 or a Nissan GTR R35. I would love an R34, but the price of them is absolutely extortionate now. I mean, I think I saw one recently on the market going for £120,000, which is ludicrous for an R34. Don't get me wrong, they're fantastic cars, but are they worth that sort of money? I mean, not in my book, personally. But yeah, I mean, that's just been a bit of a ramble. There's loads of cars which I'd love to have. But yeah, I think at the top of the list would be either a Lamborghini Murcielago or an Aventador. And finally, the question. So actually, for our final question, we've got 2 more episodes, and many more coming, but with the 2 other managers in the team. It's going to be something which is a bit more personal to them. So the personal one to me, since I have always sort of been in business since I was, as far as I can remember, sort of 13 years old or 14 years old, I set up my first business. My question is, would you recommend going into business? And what I'd say is it completely depends on the type of person you are, what you want to achieve in life. But what I would say is if you want to go into business, and my biggest piece of advice would be to do something that you enjoy and something that you're passionate about, because that is something, or that's a topic, or segment of a market which you'll just give it your full crack throughout the time. You won't get bored. Like, I've done businesses in the past where I've set it up, I've worked my absolute socks off for 6 months, and it's been great, made a bit of money, and after that you just sort of start to lose momentum because you're not passionate about it, you don't actually enjoy it. The thought of being successful, owning a business is great, and don't get me wrong, everyone wants to achieve that, but I think it's sort of aligning your interests and business, which is what makes something truly sustainable for the future for yourself. And yeah, I'm going to wrap it up there because we've been rambling. I can see on the camera we've been going for 27 minutes. It's probably going to get cut down to more like 15, but I think that's enough for the first episode. Massive thanks for watching, and thanks for tuning in. If this is the first video you've seen on the Form 7 YouTube channel, massive thanks. Please subscribe, like the video, because our journey is going to be epic. Like I said before, I've got a massive passion for this, for the business, for what we're going to do in the future, and yeah, we are not going anywhere, so definitely be sure to subscribe to jump on board and join the journey. So yeah, massive thanks for watching. Next up is going to be one of the managers, Matt, who is going to be doing his Meet the Team. We've got a few episodes of that before we're going to be doing something slightly different, and we're also introducing a podcast in the near future too. So yeah, subscribe, don't miss out, and I'll catch you in the next one.